I'm not having this as a theme tune.
Boom.
What? Those noises.
Come on. We drop the kids to school at 9 and pick them up at 3.
How many times? It's 3:15.
Spend the day together doing some activity.
What's that?
And then we're
Brooks?
gonna make
Oh
sweet love. Yeah.
My mum might listen to this.
It's Rob and
Date night podcast.
Podcast. How are you, dear listeners? Welcome back to the podcast. This is Rob Rouse here.
And
I'm
Helen Rutter.
joined by my wife, Helen Rutter, who didn't take my name in marriage. It's all very modern. Now, welcome back. We have been on
I wanted
hiatus.
I wanted us all as a family to create a brand new surname.
Did you?
Yes, but Rob was not up for that, were you?
No, well, I thought it was a bit twatty.
But-
What would you have chosen?
Well, I was telling this to my friend the other day because recently our daughter asked why they had the kids had the same surname as you and a different surname to me. Which
And then
was
we
quite
explained
sad.
was because I own you now that we're married, dear, don't I?
No, but and I had to explain. Because I had like a kind of feminist feeling, but I didn't follow it through fully, so I kind of backed down and let you have his name when I should have really just followed my gut and thought. And we should have all chosen a brand new name, which was my feeling. And I told this to my friend the other day, and she said her mum did exactly that.
Did she?
Yeah, and guess what surname she chose for herself?
Oh, I dread to think.
Storm.
Interesting.
So, but we could have had anything.
Rob Storm.
Yeah, the Storms. Helen Storm.
Helen Storm.
Helen and Rob Storm.
You know,
We could be called Rob and Helen Lightning.
Lightning. Yeah, but I think I was right to slightly poo-poo it at the time of being tabled across the dispatch box of our relationship, because you had just suggested we called our son Huckleberry, which, despite being a beautiful name, he would have got the shit kicked out of him if it was being called Huckleberry. So,
We
welcome.
could have called ourselves. Our surname could be Date Night. Rob and Helen Date Night.
I mean, we still could. We still could. So, welcome back. We've been on a hiatus, haven't we? For quite a while. We've been busy.
Yeah.
We've had our hands full, but we welcome you back, dear listeners, to what is definitely going to be a series of podcasts as we build up
Let's not.
Helen, let's not
Let's
back out
not.
of commitment now.
Let's not commit.
Let's
now.
commit.
The listeners.
Our listeners need commitment now.
No, our listeners know us too well.
Right.
They
But what
know
about
our
new
promises.
listeners? Hello,
they know
new
our
listeners.
empty promises about commitment and regularity.
Well, before we start, let's just have a little bit of a roundup on these things. It has been a while. I think it's been at least 4 months back. I could have looked back to see when the last podcast was, but frankly, I couldn't be arsed, because not that I couldn't be arsed if I was more interested about doing this one. I'm always looking forward.
We have recorded lots, but
Yeah.
Rob just hasn't edited them
There's-
and put them up. There's about 20 episodes, dear listener,
There's
that you'll never, ever hear.
There's a cracker we went to B&Q to choose potentially some laminate flooring, which might never see the light of day, but if it does, it will literally break the internet. But yeah, we've been away for a while. But I think what we are going to do now is we're going to try and do a podcast each week. Shut up, Helen. Not that I'm really meaning to shut up. We're going to try and do a podcast each week in the build-up
Rob's
to...
terrified
and
now
hopefully
of the Me Too
during...
situation.
Post Me Too.
Can't cope with it.
I mean, I just don't know anymore. Am I allowed to make my wife a cup of tea without asking her? I don't know. I feel I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. Because I have seen a GIF or a meme about making a cup of tea. If someone doesn't want a cup of tea and you make them a cup of tea, that's a very bad thing to do. So I'm all over the place. But yeah, so we were thinking we're going to try and do one of these each week as a roundup of what we're doing in preparations for our Edinburgh Festival jaunt. And then maybe we should try and do one while we're up there to kind of keep the listeners abreast of what's going on.
So they can hear us having a total mental breakdown.
Potentially. It's great listening. It's going to break the internet. But before we do that, just as a little bit of a roundup. Excuse me, Wendy Pops holding them in. First of all, full transparency, I'm wearing my Crocs.
Yeah.
I've got my £2
socks.
Aldi Crocs on with socks. Classic.
Yeah.
And any Andrews.
But the listener doesn't know about your new. Oh my God, I can't believe we've not done...
monumental, isn't it?
This is monumental.
Now, regulars will know that I usually wear my bobblers and Crocs. Helen, if you'd like to fill them in.
Rob has bought himself a new pair of tracksuit bottoms.
Yes.
And they are not yet bobbly, but...
I think they're designer. They come... Can you just see what the label is? Do you want to have a look at
the label says... Design slim fit, and slim fit they are. He walked in here and he looked like a teenage boy.
Do you know what I look like? I think I was looking in the mirror before I put them on. I think I look like the X Factor winner's Rack Soup.
Yes, you do look a bit like Rack Soup, or like my friend's teenage twin boys.
Is it Rack
like
Soup?
Well. Rack Soup. No, Rack Sue.
Rack Soup.
Yeah, no, not soup.
Soup?
Sue.
Cat soup.
It says designed by F&F. And for those of you who don't know...
I don't know whether you'll have
F&F.
access to designer shops. Where are you listening?
It's Florence Fred.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or, as it's also known, Tesco's.
Tesco's own brand.
Probably bought at 2 a.m. on the way back from a gig and probably had to get the man who almost feel... I think he might know me by name, and I feel I should know his name at the late night Chesterfield Tesco's that I sometimes frequent.
So, but they're baggy at the top and they're tight at the bottom.
They're baggy at the top, they're tight at the bottom. So I went for a large.
A large.
In the slim fit.
But they're short on the leg as well. They're baggy at the top, tight at the bottom, and quite short on the leg.
I don't think they're that well made, if I'm honest.
In a kind of grey marl.
A grey marl, yeah, it's a classic grey marl, isn't it?
That's an 80s word,
Well,
isn't
yeah,
it?
you're wearing a grey marl top as well, aren't you?
I'm wearing a Lassie jumper.
A Lassie, like my beautiful council estate wife.
A big baggy.
A Lassie jumper.
A Lassie jumper.
Big Lassie jumper. It's really classy.
It's so comfy.
That feels like when I used to work at Scott Sports and Leisure in Macclesfield, and the owner.
How did you answer the phone?
Hello, Scott Sports and Leisure. When the owner, Jeff, his elder wife, Jessie, and I hope they're still going. If not, may they rest in peace. Jessie was probably, I don't know, maybe 70, and she'd try on all the new ladies' tracksuits and she'd come out and wear them. And she came out once in a Lassie tracksuit, and Jeff said to all of us, all the Saturday boys, he said, lads, doesn't Jessie look classy in that Lassie suit? Doesn't she look classy? You look really classy in that, Jessie. Thanks, Jeff. I feel good in it. You look really classy.
Well, that's how I feel today, just like Jessie.
Classy.
I did today when on the dog walk. I was wearing my Lassie jumper and the Nike Air Max trainers. I felt like a 14-year-old all over again.
I know. Please don't say that to me, dear, because that's all rather strange. Have you got any emails you want to share with us from listeners?
No, nobody ever emails us. Can somebody email us, please?
Right.
It's Rob and Helen's date night at yahoo.com.
But or maybe people just get in touch with the Twitter at Date Night Pod or Rob and Helen's Date Night on Facebook.
I know, but I'd like an email.
Okay.
Because I'm not very good on Facebook and Twitter. You know I'm not.
Right, so what's on the show today, Helen?
On the show today, Rob. Oh, do you need to do the music?
I can go and do it, yeah. It's got what it was, though.
Okay, so you might be a bit far away to hear.
Go on, it's fine.
On the show today, we've got rehearsals, a catch-up with how the play's going. And then we've got a special section all about Rob's guts.
Hey?
And then we've got Helen's Odd Jobs, catching up on the news in Helen's career. And that's it. Have you got anything else, Rob? No, I think that's it, isn't it?
Well done. Done in real time. So, section 1.
Rehearsals, the play.
Yes, we
the
are.
Play is the thing.
I am in rehearsals with an actress who is situated to my left here. Hello, Helen.
Hello.
Helen Rutter, actress, star of Holby City, star of Coronation Street.
Yeah, star of one episode of Holby City, star of one episode of Coronation Street.
Star of stage, touring theatre, screen, light of my life. And now through what I can only describe as a torrid session on a casting couch, Helen has cast me in a play that she's written that we are taking to Edinburgh Festival. And, you know, dear listeners, you do not want to know all the things I didn't have to do on the casting couch in order to get that part.
Yes, so now we are in rehearsals for the play The Ladder.
The Ladder at the Gilded Balloon, 11:15 a.m. from the 2nd to the 12th of August. I am also doing a solo show at Just the Tonic at La Belle Angèle at 6:30 p.m. between the 2nd and 12th of August.
Yes.
Tickets are on sale now for both shows. Just go to edfringe.com and search for The Ladder or Rob Rouse.
Yeah. So we are currently in rehearsals, aren't we?
Yep.
And rehearsals commence straight after we've dropped the kids off at school.
Yes.
And we go to the living room.
We go to the living room.
Where the set of ladders is up. And so what?
You're doodling and looking down. I need eye contact while we're doing the podcast. I need to know where you are.
We're not cheersing.
I know we're not cheersing, but you're like you're just looking down and talking and drawing, like Rain Man. And I'd quite like to see you because we talk to each other.
Okay, you talk then.
No, I was listening to you.
If you're going to tell me off for the way I'm talking, you can do the talking.
No, I'm not telling off. I just wanted eye contact while we were talking because I don't know what's going on otherwise.
Maybe I don't want to look it in the eye.
Whoa! Okay.
Okay.
So you can see tension is building through working together on a play.
So we've been in there for the last couple of days. It's the first real week of rehearsals after writing the play. And how do you think it's going, Rob?
Well, I think it's going very well. It is complicated acting with your wife because we talked about this. There's a few arguments in the play, isn't there?
Yes.
That become quite heated.
Yes.
And I am not one who likes confrontation.
No.
Especially with my spouse.
No.
And
you avoid an argument. It's very hard to get an argument out of him.
And what's fascinating is, oh yes, it isn't. And what's interesting as well is this play has been written by Helen, and it draws on kind of maybe issues we've had in the past, and hopefully have moved through, and incidents that have occurred to us that have then been fictionalised.
Well, the whole thing is based on a real life event where I was stuck up a ladder.
Yeah. Oh. That's the dishwasher, everyone.
Dishwasher.
I told you the dishwasher's always on the show. But I do find kind of actually having a Barney with you on stage, I find it quite complicated
He
to
really
do.
didn't like it. And then the first read through we did, and I love having a good old shout. I think it's brilliant. And so especially if you're doing it in a play, you don't even have to feel the real feelings. You just like feel them and then they disappear as soon as you stop reading the lines out.
But they don't
brilliant.
for me. They don't for me.
But
I think
it sat with you, didn't it?
You real act as a psychopath like that.
It made you feel ever so strange.
It did make me feel a bit strange, yeah.
Yeah, so he went a bit funny for a bit.
Yeah, now I'm really enjoying shouting at Helen. So I've got a question for you. Question to you, actor Helen Rutter.
Yes.
What's it like acting with me? And were you nervous?
When was I nervous?
Were you nervous about acting with me?
I've not done it on stage. I'll be very nervous because I don't know. You've said many, many times, and it's already in my head that you're very bad at learning lines.
Well...
So, yes, I will be terrified.
But I'll just make them up.
That you just look at me with a blank expression. And I have no idea how to save us.
Well, that's my second question. Can I have my lines written on the back of a piece of toast?
You have already asked whether you can have your lines written down and make it part of the character.
Did I actually ask that?
Yes.
And what was your answer?
No, learn your fucking lines.
I'll just write that down. So that's in progress. It's very exciting. So each day we drop the kids at school and we are rehearsing in official rehearsals in the living room. Very exciting.
Yeah, we'll put some rehearsal shots. Well, we might not. I might not, but I might put some rehearsal shots up on the Date Night Pod Facebook page.
Yeah, and Helen's also doing a blog about going to Edinburgh.
I've started a blog. I've done 2 blogs. I'm going to do another blog about it, so you can read that.
What's that at? Where can you read the blog?
I don't know. I put it up on the Facebook page.
It's rather worryingly. She's kind of basically written, Will we stay together or will it end up in divorce?
You've got to make it like tense, haven't you?
Got to add some jeopardy, yeah. But why not? Yeah, why not put the ultimate threat in there? Well, you could say, will it go well or will it end up, being quite hard work?
I know, but that's nowhere near as interesting, is it?
Yeah, I mean, you could have gone the whole. Will it end in success and joy and awards, or will it end up in a double spousal murder?
I'll do that. I'll save that for episode 6.
Okay, lovely.
So, there's been one thing that has slightly hampered our rehearsal process.
It's
And this
slightly
brings
got
us on to our next section.
In the way today, didn't it? Yeah.
It's got in the way,
Well-
not just today. It's got in the way for the last 15 years. But it's somewhat peaked.
Helen thinks I've got IBS.
No.
Again.
We know he's got IBS, don't we? But tell the listeners what happened a week ago.
Well, we had a lovely family holiday, didn't we? Went away in the caravan, which, I mean, we literally was... It's always an event in itself, isn't it? Our caravan looks a little bit like a scene from Dead Man's Shoes. I don't know if you've seen the film Dead Man's Shoes. If you haven't, it's brilliant, genuinely terrifying, Paddy Considine film. And the first campsite, we went to North Wales and we stopped over at a campsite roughly near Chester, didn't we, on the way there? The first thing the campsite owner said as we pulled our van onto the campsite was, "Are you going to wash it?" That was the first thing he said. Which I'm proud to say we haven't done.
We haven't, no.
The big flappy door on the front is held on with gaffer tape.
Yep.
Which cuts an impressive
which is now
swathe.
perished, though. The gaffer tape's now perished after a week away.
It did a good solid week for us, though.
Yeah. While I was lying on our bed, my side of the bed collapsed.
It collapsed, didn't it? Yeah, it just
and
came
started letting moisture in through
Came
the
away
wall.
from the wall. The previous time we'd sat down and we were enjoying baked beans on toast, and our daughter leant back and went, "This is a life." And her hand hit the wall and a little worm fell out, didn't it?
Oh yeah, the dancing worm. There's a worm that was just leaping about. And then we've got all the blinds, the blackout blinds, which we call auto blinds, because you can pull them down, but so they're all down, and then every now and again you hear, and one of them just whips up out of nowhere.
So please donate to the podcast, and maybe we can get ourselves some kind of caravan that's actually within health and safety standards.
Well, or we can buy some powerful glue that might fix the bed.
Yeah.
And glue the blinds down. Something like that.
So we've been in a caravan, fantastic. And then we ended up staying on a beach in Wales. Literally, very, very stunning, beautiful part of the world. Never been to that bit before. I was blown away by it. And I love the sea, listeners. I love that. I've become a salty sea dog very quickly, don't I?
You and Ronnie were in the sea every day, swimming.
Swimming in the sea every day. But it would appear I did make a mistake whilst I was on the beach, didn't I, Helen?
Yes, so he got very carried. He does this, though. I don't know whether we've ever had... Have we done it on the podcast, your penchant for...
Foraging for wild food.
Stuffs. Yeah, so Rob in the past has eaten a rabbit that he found on the road that was dead, various pheasants, one that Ronnie killed, and other things. He'll just eat anything, basically. And he doesn't, and he put a sheep in the boot of the car and then realised that it was illegal.
I think what happens is,
he gets carried away.
living with vegetarians, I think, like the dog.
Blame me
I'm
for you being disgusting.
No, you know your old dog, Bonnie Rutter, that you grew up with, and she grew up in a vegetarian house. She had a vegetarian dog, which I think is pushing it.
Judge me.
Well, I'm not judging you. I'm just the proof is in the pudding. That you told me that about every week or so she'd just go missing and go through bins, and she'd be gone for about a day, and she'd come back.
But she was a Labrador. You're a human being.
Yeah. What was brought up eating meat?
So, what did you find on the beach that you decided to consume?
Mollusks. But all I'm trying to say, Helen, is every now and then, I think it's very good, the vegetarianism that you brought to my life. I think it's very good for my gut flora and fauna. Every now and then...
You don't have any vegetarianism in your life.
I do. We had a vegetarian dinner tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, and then you go and eat 3 tins of tuna over the bin to try and balance it out.
Well, I'm like Bonnie. I'm like the Labrador, escaping and going through bins.
So anyway,
I went foraging.
You're trying to put things onto me because you know what's about to come out. Well, quite literally.
Our listeners have a fair idea what's about to come out.
So, you decided, what mollusks did you find that you decided would be perfect to eat?
Well, I've watched quite a lot of episodes of that Bear Grylls Island that you've been on, that we saw fellow comedians.
I've not been on it.
No, we watched together, sorry. I watched fellow comedians who was on the last one. Shazzy Mirza was on the last one, and Mark Watson.
Yeah.
Watson went home, got very sick, didn't he?
Yeah, he was very, very
Got very ill. And I always think you should go into that show fit as you can, but carrying a bit of timber to get you through. But the recent weeks, since my event on the beach, I understand actually what feeling weak is.
Yeah, because basically Rob picked loads of limpets off the rocks on the beach.
It was the first day on the beach. They look so fresh. They look so healthy.
And carried them back in the bucket, and then started to try to cook them on a dying barbecue.
Yes, on a disposable barbecue. The barbecue was red up when I put the limpets on, and then when I put the limpets on, they just basically sucked all the heat out of the barbecue and it went out.
So then what did you do to them?
I then put them in a pan with some butter and cooked them on the hob with a bit of... I didn't have any wine, so I cooked them with a bit of beer to get a broth. And I boiled them solidly for a good 5 or so minutes.
And then what did you do?
And then I consumed them.
Right. So...
feeling quite sick as I'm talking about this. It's bringing it back.
So this was a week ago, wasn't it?
This was a week ago. Yeah, it was Tuesday night.
Yeah, so we're bang on a week. And how are you feeling today?
Shite. I feel like shite. I feel weak. I've had severe bumwee issues since about Wednesday, Thursday last week. And I did ring the doctors today, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I have to ring them tomorrow at 8 a.m. to try and make an appointment.
Yes.
Yes.
Because what are we worried about?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, but I ate the limpets.
So
and they're quite meaty and chewy. Did my kids eat one?
No,
they didn't eat one.
They said, "Ooh."
But I thought I've eaten loads of mussels and stuff in the past, so it's going to be fine. But they did have. Oh, I feel sick as I talk about it. On the underside of the limpet, like a kind of a black kind of disc, which I think was the guts. On some cases, I pulled off. And other times, again, as I'm talking about this, I did eat.
And did they taste nice?
Not really, no. They were kind of quite bland. I mean, sort of mollusky, but very, very chewy. Well, they weren't good.
No, they weren't good.
They weren't good. And I probably ate 20 of them.
Yes.
I don't know why.
So Rob's been feeling bad. So this has hampered our rehearsal somewhat because of his need to go to visit the toilet.
This week it has been an issue.
So it has been an issue. And what we've realised today in talking to a nurse friend of ours is what the risk is that you may have some form of parasite.
Parasite.
So you may have eaten a parasite.
I may have eaten a parasite.
Now, I have got a special section, a secret section. Secret section! Secret for you.
Right.
I've got a quiz, a parasite-based quiz for Rob Rouse.
Is this based on your research of what might be in my
This is based on my Google research that I've been doing.
Christ almighty.
So, here we go.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the parasite quiz?
I am ready for the parasite quiz.
The average male carries how many parasites inside his body?
4?
2 pounds worth.
2 pounds worth?
Yeah. You're 2 pounds of parasite. No, that's the average male. I reckon you're about 4 or 5. Number 2. American men's lives are shortened by how long due to parasites?
Oh, God. Oh, you're going to make me paranoid now. I don't know, 2 years?
4 years.
Oh, God. What have I done?
Name 4...
Oh, God. I'm burping and it doesn't feel good.
Name 4 symptoms of living with parasites.
Right. Runny bottom.
Correct.
Sick.
Correct.
Sickness.
Correct.
Feeling lethargic.
Correct.
Feeling washed out.
Same as lethargic.
Runny bottom and sick at the same time. And whilst feeling lethargic. Headache.
It could be, yeah. I'll give you a...
Fever.
Yes, I'll give you a few more. Skin problems.
Right.
IBS. Ding! Itching.
Yeah.
Rashes. Tiredness.
Feel a bit tired.
Ding! Colitis.
What's that?
Ding! I don't know, but it sounds like you've got it.
Oh, thank you.
Diarrhea.
Yeah.
Ding!
Woo, 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 woo. It's our top answer.
Guys!
You've won this set of matching cutlery and serving basket. Whenever you're going on a picnic, you can enjoy this. Star prize.
Malaise.
I don't know what malaise is. Is that tiredness?
That's like back in the 1940s.
So look at what the word malaise means. Malaise. How's that spelled?
I think malaise means kind of like sadness.
Malaise.
sad
Malaise definition.
tiredness.
Malaise, a general feeling of discomfort, illness, or unease, whose exact cause is difficult to identify.
Oh, ding! Definitely, you've got malaise. I've got malaise. Flatulence.
Yes. You've won this set of matching his and hers carriage clocks. But although the flatulence has had to be held back.
So now it's coming out of your mouth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's burping farts because he doesn't want to let any go. Bloating.
Yeah, I'm bloated. I am bloated. You've won this his and hers set of matching cagoules.
Gas.
It's a VHS video recorder with remote.
Arthritis.
Don't think so.
In your big toe, you've got it.
Yeah.
And joint aches.
That I'm okay.
Good. Okay. So anyway,
Whoa.
moving on to question number 4.
Right.
Name 2 types of parasitic worm.
Tapeworm?
Correct.
Is the tapeworm one?
Ding.
Arseworm.
No, incorrect. You could have a roundworm.
A roundworm.
Roundworm you get from saltwater fish, and a tapeworm you get from a freshwater fish. So you're lucky it's not going to be a tapeworm today.
I'm feeling really sick.
Question number 5.
Yeah.
Name 2 ways of killing a parasite, thus making it safe to eat.
Getting really pissed. Will that do it? Having a really hot curry.
We'll move on to that. I'm not sure the listeners can cope with what happened the week before this.
An enema?
No. Killing the parasite, not in a human, in the fish before you eat it. You
Thoroughly cooking it.
Yeah, to what temperature?
Over 100 degrees.
145.
Centigrade? Or is that Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit. At least, how long?
At least 5 minutes.
No, 15 seconds.
Oh, that doesn't feel good.
Or, what's the other way of killing a parasite?
Hitting it.
No.
Stamping on it.
No.
Chewing it?
No.
In half?
Freezing it.
Freezing it?
What temperature?
Minus 20.
No, minus 35 for a minimum of
4 hours.
15 hours.
15 hours.
Yeah, this
now
is why
you know,
you're
dear
ill.
listeners.
This is why you're ill. Okay, now here we've got last question, and then we'll move on to the picture round.
Oh, God.
Question number 6. What percentage of foodborne illnesses are down to seafood?
Oh.
But this is based in Canada.
In Canada. I'm going to go at least 40%. No.
No, 18%.
18%.
It's lower than you'd think, isn't it?
It was lower, darling. Yeah, it was lower.
Lower. General meats, I think you'd have. Right, now we're moving on to the picture round.
Yeah.
Now, question 1.
So how is this going to work for the listeners?
Just hear your
who can't
reaction,
see
you
the
can describe
pictures?
it.
Okay.
What had this man eaten to cause this creature to end up in his stomach?
Oh, God. Right. Does that play?
No, I'm not playing it.
So I'm looking at the inside of a man's stomach, which looks a bit like the palm of an old person's hand. And then there's some wriggly, clear, glass-like, spermy-looking long worms, which appear to have embedded themselves into the wall of his stomach.
Yeah, what do you think he's eaten to
Fish.
get that? What kind?
Shellfish.
No.
Cod.
No.
Haddock.
Sushi.
Oh,
Sushi,
yeah,
that's a sushi
Oh,
worm.
there's a horrible thing on video on internet of a man pulling a tapeworm out of his back end. Who got it from sushi?
Oh, there was that. They did mention that on one of these websites about how sometimes you can cough up the worms and pull them out of your mouth.
Oh, shit!
And final question in the picture round: what 3 symptoms did this man experience when this worm was living inside his gut?
Well, right. So I'm looking at again that horrible thing. It looks like the back of a dog's throat, and I'm looking at a larger white worm.
What do you think he...
Oh, God.
3 symptoms did he experience that made him go to the doctors?
What experience? Bloating?
No.
Arse pain? Diarrhea?
Gut pain.
Gut pain.
Was one.
Runs?
No.
Belching?
Vomit.
Vomit?
Was one. And the last one was...
Boo. I don't know.
A fever.
Yeah,
Yeah, you felt very cold today, didn't you?
I did feel cold on the dog walk, yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I know. So that's the end of the quiz. Well done. You did
Thank
really
you.
well.
But I've rung the doctors, haven't I? And Helen suggested that a strange suggestion she made just after tea. Thankfully, the kids were playing Mario Karts. But Helen suggested that I took in a stool sample when I go into the doctor's.
Well, I think, why not? Because you're going to go in and they're going to say, we need a stool sample, and then you'll have to come home and make another appointment and waste another day going back into the doctor's to take your poo in then anyway. You might as well just take it with you.
I just pop into the loo there and do it.
No, that is so much worse than just taking it with you. I don't understand why you think that's better.
Well, no, they give me a proper medical
off
flask.
to the toilet next door. He knows you're pooing. You know you're pooing. You take it back in warm and messy on the outside. You can't... and try to poo it into this tiny thing.
But this is the thing.
You can do it into a sandwich tub.
If I go in carrying it in an old takeaway tub with a plastic bag, they're going to know that you took a dump in a takeaway tub, put it in a plastic bag, drove it in your car, sat there in reception holding it.
You only get a 10-minute session, right?
Yeah.
At the doctor's. They only have 10 minutes, okay? The NHS is on its arse. It cannot wait for you to do your farting and shitting, which takes at least 30 minutes currently.
It doesn't take 30 minutes.
They can't be waiting
It does
for you.
not take 30 minutes for your listeners.
Save time for them. You can't do that to the NHS if you're private. Fine, you feel free.
Would you do that?
I would take shit in with me in a tub.
Would you really?
Yes, absolutely.
Would you take shit in a tub to the GPs?
If my guts were in your state,
Yeah.
I'd have taken shit into the doctors a long time before now.
Okay.
I'd be there weekly.
Would you? Okay, here's a question then. So if you were on your way to the doctors and you had some of your own mess, in a tub,
Yes.
would you do school drop off with it in your handbag?
Not in the handbag, no. I'd leave it in the car.
You'd leave it in the car?
Yeah.
But say you had to walk the kids to school and the doctor's was near the school or something.
But it's not.
No, I know it's not. But if it was, would you walk up with the mess in your handbag, take the kids into school?
I think that's such a specific situation where somebody would live so close to their school and their doctors.
Yeah.
That I can't. What's the point in this?
I don't know. I'm just trying to work out what your boundaries are.
Okay, but anyway, so yes, you do need to go to the doctors, and that's good. Now, I'm wondering whether.
So, would you take your mess?
Yeah, please email us and let us know if you would take the poo with you in your handbag to school, to the imaginary school that's next.
Oh,
to the
have you
doctors.
ever had to take a stool sample in your handbag and had to do this school run on the way in? Let us know at Date Night Pod on Twitter, or Rob and Helen's Date Night on Facebook, or Rob and Helen's Date Night at yahoo.com.
Now.
Yeah.
I've got 2 words, and I don't know whether we should go into this with the dear listener
Go
or
on.
not, because I don't know whether they've already had enough. I mean, this is like embarrassing bodies, but like really like gone darker, isn't it?
It's been a bad fortnight, hasn't it?
Yeah. If I say vegetable patch, do we think we need to tell them about what happened the week before? So the Olympics happened a week ago, but this is kind of an extension of a problem that A has been going on for Rob's entire life, and our entire relationship, but even more so has grown over the weeks, hasn't it? Something happened in it about 2 weeks ago that I think is this problem may have even begun earlier. I don't think it is a parasitic worm.
Well, we had a curry, didn't we? And I think it set off my IBS. I think these are separate incidents.
At least he's admitting now that he's got IBS. At one point in an episode...
I have made so much progress.
I don't know which episode it is of this podcast, but he would not even use the words IBS, let alone admit that he had it. So I totally think we're making progress.
This is such great progress.
Such great progress.
This is a hard listen. I mean, if you're welcoming people back to the podcast, there's a lot of talk about my guts.
Shall we not tell them about the vegetable patch?
I think in for a penny, in for a pound. In a nutshell, I joined Helen the day after we'd had a big old curry up, hadn't we? And I joined her in one of her many businesses, one of which is dog walking. And I joined her. We got in her car and we drove with our dog to another village to collect a hound. We walked up to their house, Helen holding the car keys and the keys to their house. She went in and got their dog, closed the door behind her and went, "Oh, shit." And she locked her keys and their keys in their house. But we had both dogs and leads. Also, I should explain, for the purpose of this, neither of us had brought our phones with us because we thought we'll go out for a nice walk. It's a lovely day. Let's not have had spoilt by mobile communications. So we found ourselves 3 miles from home with no keys for their house, for our car, or for our house for that matter, with 2 dogs. And we had realised what we had to do was we had to walk the 3 miles or so back to our house. And then at some point, I was going to have to break into our house to gain access back into our house, to gather the phone so we could ring them and say, we've locked ourselves out of your house, we've locked our keys in your house, and our car's outside your house. It was an absolute nightmare, and with an impending school pickup on the cars, it was a nightmare scenario.
We were meant to be rehearsing.
Yeah, it was our first week of rehearsal. Coupled to this, a massive curry the night before. And if I've had a massive...
How many times had you been to the toilet already that morning?
I think I'd had 3.
3, between... You woke up at about 8:30 and it was 9:30. In an hour, you'd done 3 big stints. Oh, the toilet already.
So I think I do need to... The problem with me is with curry and my IBS is I like a hot curry... And then I always overeat when I eat the curry.
But what happened?
I am working hard now on portion control of my meals because I tend to eat in a feast or famine manner. So I'm trying to eat smaller meals through the day and throttle back in the evening.
But what happened was, so I shut the door and it clicked. And what happened was...
You needed a wee immediately.
I immediately shut the door and immediately said, the keys are inside. And Rob immediately said, I need a poo. So
we had to walk all the way back.
All the way back.
Our dog Ron and another dog which will remain nameless.
Yes. No, but yeah. And all the way back, Rob was saying how much he needed the toilet.
I was having to clench.
Yeah. Yes. And,
it reached a flashpoint. It reached a flashpoint when we got back to the house. Now, we were about to start breaking in. I was about to start climbing in through windows and stuff when I realised I could hold back no longer. Helen was also desperate for a wee. So we split to either end of the garden. Helen went behind the shed. And I went. I headed towards the vegetable patch
to deal with
the inevitable, which didn't need any encouragement.
But you didn't go to the vegetable patch. You were trying to make it to behind the shed.
No, I got to vegetable patch.
Yeah, no, but he didn't mean to do a boo on the vegetables. You weren't aiming to do it on the vegetables.
Hasten to add, we haven't grown any vegetables this year. We're not growing any vegetables.
Yeah, you were trying to make
and that soil will be very fertile in 3 years' time.
But you were trying to make it much further than the vegetable patch.
Yeah,
the vegetable patch is in full view of the drive. Of the drive of me. When I came out from behind the summer house, I could see it.
But this is the worst bit.
Then I came out and saw him with his tracksuit ball around his ankles and was like, what the hell are you doing?
I was on Bear Grylls Island. And suffice it to say, I managed to deal with the issue. But Helen still had control of the dog that she walks under contract, but I didn't realise that our dog was free range. And as I was cleaning myself up on some lumps of grass, because let's not remember, I couldn't get inside to get any loo roll. Ronnie was already helping himself to last night's curry. Let's call it that. And he was chowing down, and I had to kick the dog. Ronnie, get out of it!
He was calling me, get the dog away. I was like, I don't want to come anywhere near this horror movie that's happening.
Oh dear me!
He would have eaten it straight from the source.
He would have taken it straight from the tap,
like a chocolate.
It's a terrible thing, and you spend all your money getting hypoallergenic organic dog food, and the truth is, Ron would happily eat last night's curry straight from the slurry tap.
Oh,
appalling behaviour.
I don't know whether I think this one might have to hit the cutting room floor.
No, I think it's gold.
This is awful.
It is awful. And then I pulled my trousers up and broke into my own house.
But all I was thinking throughout this whole thing is this doesn't happen to other people.
Well, maybe it does.
Nobody else finds themselves in situations like this.
Maybe it does. Maybe it does. We've got friends who will remain nameless who... no, I'm not going to go into it.
No, that was a friend of ours who was in India who had really, really severe Delhi belly. That's so different to having a takeaway curry from...
Well, I must have had Delhi belly, Helen.
Oh, dearie me.
So that's kind of our news for the last couple of weeks, isn't it?
That's the section Rob's Guts, I think, rounded up.
I think, yeah. Let's put a cherry on the top of that. That's Rob's Guts, everyone. Is that the end of? Have you got any more sections?
That's the end of that section, and then we were going to.
What a torrid section that was.
That was torrid.
That was a torrid section. Yeah. Well done for hanging in there, dear
I don't
listeners.
think they will have. I think they've all switched off.
I think only Honorary Andrews will have made it to the end. If you've had any other vegetable batch kind of type horror stories, do let us know at the podcast. We'll read them out at Date Night Pod. So. Rob and Helen's Date Night on Facebook, at Date Night Pod on Twitter, or Rob and Helen's Date Night at yahoo.com.
Yeah, or like a mixture of embarrassing bodies and an agony aunt column. I'd love your like questions about how, you know, what you should do. Something awful happened, like that poor lady ended up putting a poo down a pane of glass. Do you remember that?
I don't understand what you're talking about there. Which lady put a poo in a pane of glass?
Wasn't there a picture? Somebody tried to post a poo out of a window and didn't realise that it was double glazed and it went down the middle. Oh yeah, it's on. It went viral.
Other internet recommendations for you are people doing magic tricks for primates.
Yeah, we look like that, don't we? At the
endless joy.
But I think that might be it.
Yeah, is that it? Are we there? Is that the podcast for the week?
I think it might be.
Right, so tell your friends, dear listeners, especially if they've got a strong stomach. And we will be at the Edinburgh Festival from the 2nd to the 12th of August.
We're also doing Buxton before, if you're not going up to Edinburgh, but you can make it to Buxton. We're doing 3 previews in Buxton in July.
What dates are we doing? I've got them here.
The 15th and the 19th.
Let's get this accurate. The first one is we are doing the 10th at 7:30 p.m. We're doing a run of the ladder. At the Buxton Fringe, and at 10 p.m. I'm doing my solo show at the Buxton Fringe on the 10th of July. Other dates: 15th of July we are doing the ladder at 5:45 p.m. and I'm doing my solo show at 8:30 p.m. And then the other one is the 19th of July at 7:30 p.m. we are doing the ladder at Buxton Fringe.
Yeah.
Both shows after that, 2nd to the 12th of August. In Edinburgh, 11:15 a.m. at the Gilded Balloon for the ladder, and 6:30 p.m. for my show, Are You Sitting Comfortably? Which, in the light of what we've just been talking about, gives it a whole new context. 6:30 p.m. at La Belle Angel, which is part of Just the Tonic. It's been a pleasure talking to you, dear listeners. Subscribe to the podcast, tell your friends about it, give us a nice review on iTunes. It's nice to be back, and we'll speak to you next week if we haven't got divorced.